Jess Turner Talk Show, and I'm Jess Turner, and this is my little woman, Nancy Turner, which she's always on the show. But anyway, we're glad to be doing this show together today. And we are going to be hitting on a few things, and I hope she'll just follow me, because she's always want to be the leader of everything, you know, with us. But, and that's a good thing, because sometimes she needs to lead me sometime. But anyway, I just thank God for us doing this show, and thank God for us being in the midst of everyone. I know you're looking at us on the screen, on the TV screen, but still we are together. And we're going to be talking about a few things today. And again, I just give honor to God for all of this. And we're talking on a few things today. We just had a new elected mayor here in the city of San Antonio, Miss Ivory Taylor. And she probably don't remember being with us at the Hilton at a big convention we was doing with the Church of Our Lord. And she came and spoke at the dinner that we was serving over there at the hotel. But anyway, we're glad to have her. And as the mayor here in San Antonio, we had a great mayor that just left and went to Washington, D.C., Mayor Castro, also a great man. And very proud of him. And I know President Obama is very proud of him also. But anyway, we are getting back to the city. And I'm talking about the time when I was in the Army, and I came, we had a little 3-day pass, and I went over to California, San Francisco and Oakland, and I talked to people, and a lot of people, where you from? And I said, San Antonio. You know, I never would say Seguin, I would always say San Antonio, because nobody didn't know about Seguin. Seguin was so small on the map, you probably couldn't even find it. So I wanted to be San Antonio, big city, you know. And I ran into my little woman here, you know, and all of a sudden we got married.
In San Francisco.
In San Francisco, yeah. Ran into you and got married. And all of a sudden, she threw all them babies on me. Every time I looked at her, there was a baby coming. And I said, boy, what's wrong here? Every time I look at this woman, there's a baby. So we went to the doctor to get it all checked out. And this doctor, instead of him being on my side, he was on her side. You know what he told me? Oh, Mr. Turner, you're the reason. I said, me? But anyway, I said, I don't want no more babies. So they done something with me, and we haven't had no more. We got 1 boy and 4 girls, and that's it. But anyway, what I want to talk about today is how our young people are growing up in all our cities today. Not just here in the state of Texas, but in California, New York, everywhere. And what I'm trying to say, our young people just don't have the morals they had when we was coming up as kids. What I'm talking about all of the girls and boys growing up and fathering kids, you know, having these kids, and they don't even think before they have the kids. Can we take care of these kids? Can we take care of this kid? You got to know what you're going to do before you go to getting into sex and all of that and having these babies, you know, because these babies are growing up, no parents to bring them up, you know, like the Bible said, bring up a child in which you should go, and when he's old, he won't depart, you know. But these kids that having these babies don't even go to church, don't even know what church is all about. Like when I was going to church, see, I learned a lot when I was coming up as a kid. My mom, she put some belt on me sometime, you know, and make me go to church, because, you know, we always want to go hunting on Saturdays and Sundays. So, but I did go to church, you know, and I learned things. Even when I went in the military, I never did go to church no more because I'm free. I'm not running my mom and my dad. But you know, it still sunk in my mind, you know, the church. It never leaves you, you know. So, you know, what I'm saying, girls, when I was coming up, and boys, especially the girls, ooh, to get to with a baby and no man, no, you know, oh no, that was taboo. No, the women, the girls thought more of themselves back then. And our girls today and boys have to get that same mindset. Well, no. You know, you gotta feel some shame when you walking down the street with no man and you're all pumped up and everything, you know, and you don't know how you're gonna feed that baby when he come here, and it's time to quit thinking about some welfare. You know, I'm way up in my 70s and we got 5 kids, and I have never been on no assistance in my life. Because you know what? Seems like when you get on these assistants, they can come into your house anytime they get ready to check on you. No, I don't need them. That's just like putting an animal in a cage, you know, and you go and check on him every so often and see what kind of food you give him and all that kind of stuff. No, I don't need that. I want it to be my own man. And that's what the boys growing up today should want to be. More of the man, not somebody taking care of you and your wife and your kids. You don't need those kind of controls. What we need to get down in the churches and everywhere, and talking to our young people about being more, have more pride about ourselves and how we dress, how we go amongst people, you know. Then you don't have to worry about people, what people think about you. You know, I was just looking at all of the big funeral on TV today with the young man. They buried him, he was shot by the police, you know. Now that was uncalled for. We don't need that. And that's why I said we bring up our kids in the right way and let them know a time to be in a good spot and a time not to be in a bad spot. You see, it's just too many of our little young men getting killed for nothing. But if we have the churches and organizations get together and talk to our young people, our young black men, Hispanic men, talk to them and show them how to grow up, you know, and I guarantee you to be less trouble. You know, like when we was coming up, I'm not gonna say we were saints. We did things, you know, out of the ordinary, you know, but it was, I call it clean trouble compared to the trouble kids get in today. And I'm not saying though that kid was in no trouble, no bad trouble, nothing up there. They got shot because look, a policeman, if he went, well, if I was the chief or had anything to do with the department, anybody come in and wants to be on the force, he gonna know a little bit more about killing. Because the Army didn't teach me how to shoot. I learned to shoot firearms when I was a kid. I can shoot a man in the arm, leg. I can bring him down without killing him. See, all that's unnecessary what these policemen are doing. And Oakland is bad. Oakland, California is bad. Los Angeles is terrible. And we tell all of the kids when I was in California, especially in Los Angeles area and Oakland, try to always stay out of trouble. Especially if you go into Los Angeles or Oakland. Because they got those big, they used to have these big old 357 Magnums on their hip. But man, they got AK all kind of machine guns to cut you down now. And you don't need that to cut a man down. Those are when you go out hunting. You don't need those big guns to shoot no little boy or no little girl. But what I'm trying to say, we need to teach our kids and let it try to sink in up here. Trouble is very, very easy to get into. But try to get out of that trouble. Oh, man, it takes you forever getting out of trouble. You know, like I told a gentleman not too long ago, I said, every state that I go in, New York, Florida, and I was just in Florida, I said, I always let the police department know who I am so they don't get me mixed up with the wrong, think nothing wrong about me. You gonna know about me if I go from here to Africa, anywhere in the United States, you gonna know about me because I'm gonna go straight to the police department and let you know who I am. Not saying I'm no big man or nothing like that, but I just want you to know what I do. I'm no thug. I'm no criminal. You don't have no reason to be busting me down, busting the cap on in me with one of these big guns, you know, and all that, you know. And that is one reason why I take my hat off to my mom and my dad, how they brought me up. My dad would tell me all the time, you know, if you can't be in the daytime with this girl, why you want to be with her at night? See, because if you're with her at night, you can't be with her in the daytime, you should be with her at all. You know, I was taught things. My sisters was taught things. You don't go out and get messed up. What my mom was talking about when they said messed up with a baby. We had pride how we were, but you got kids in high school with big stomachs and all that. Ooh, no, a girl back when I was going to school, she wouldn't be in no school with no big stomach. She'd be too ashamed. But the shame is gone now. Where have it went? It is terrible how our kids, our young people, is being raised today. And why are they being raised that way? Because of the parents. And, you know, I was going to court with a little boy not too long ago. And I wanted to tell that judge, I know you were on this little boy, because they had this little boy paying some stiff money. And this boy ain't got no good job. I said, what they need to do is go to telling these little girls to keep their legs closed. I know they would probably email me 1 million letters the next day, emails the next day, and tell me I was wrong. But then in a way, I don't think they could tell me I was wrong. But because, see, the girl got to think something of herself too. See, when I was coming up, I couldn't get a girl that easy to lay down when I was a teenager. Because the girls had a little bit more going for them up here than the girls today. And I'm not saying the girls and the boys are not smart today, because we got some smart young people today. But they just don't use it. They use it in the wrong thing. Why I say they're smarter today? Because look, they can get on these little computers and all kind of cell phones, and they can do all kind of good stuff. And I'll be watching them sometimes, amazing what these kids know. They don't even have to pick up a book in school that much to learn things, you know, because they got these little phones in school, and these phones can tell you all kind of things. They got even the Bible in some of these phones, you know. You want to look up certain scriptures in the Bible, phones can give it to you right away, and then talk it out to you. You see what I'm talking about? They're smarter today. The world is much more advanced than when I was coming up. But they're not advanced up here being smart with pride inside of them. No, I wouldn't be caught going down the town, a teenager with my stomach all out. Because you know what, young women, young men, you're not doing nothing but put yourself in prison. Maybe not the prison that law enforcement put you in. You're putting yourself in prison in the world. You can't do certain things because you got to take care of that baby. You got to work more harder, young man, before your time, when you could spend that time staying at home until you get 18 or 20, and then you're out money your mama and them then. But you got to be out money your mama and them with a job way before time. You're losing a lot of your childhood. No, it's sad the way it is. I said, you're putting yourself in shackles. When you got a baby, you can't go nowhere. I told my grandson, it's time for you to go to thinking. You got a lot of world to look at out there. It's no time to be running around and having babies. Get out and see some of the world. Girl, you can do the same thing. See this world before you go to thinking about making families. And then you're going to struggle, especially if you don't have a good education. We try to make my grandsons and all of my kids go to school. I was just telling somebody today, my daughter just left and went back to California. She was here for a while, but she wanted to go back home, and she went back. She's getting into Los Bananas College, furthering her education. That's what you need to do, because in this world you need some smarts to make it. You don't want to get up in age and just don't have nothing going for you. I see too much of that on the streets of San Francisco and Oakland, how people are living on the street in cardboard boxes, under old mattresses and all that kind of stuff. You don't need that kind of life. Before you go to thinking about jumping up, making families and don't know what you're doing, think on it first. Because it's sad to bring up a kid and the kid is calling you daddy and you can't do nothing for that kid. Kid calling you mama and you can't do nothing for that kid. It's really sad. Go to thinking before you go to trying to get up and have babies, because it's no big deal having no baby when you're a baby yourself. My little woman not saying nothing, she's just looking at me. If I'm saying the wrong thing, I want you to just tap me a little bit.
No, you're not saying the wrong thing. I was waiting till you got your point across and what you're trying to say, because everything's coming from your heart. I just want to add to it before our time is up. We have about maybe 10 more minutes. That I would like to say that in dealing with society, society now has accepted so many things. There's a lot of things that when we were coming up was not accepted. You know, when a girl was pregnant, it was shame. That's why back in the day, there had a lot of illegal abortions, and where a lot of girls died years and years ago. But now they have it where you don't have to tell your parents. You can just go and get an abortion done now. And some clinics give you the birth control pills and stuff, trying to do intervention. And all these things are out to try to keep the girls from having babies before their time, and especially out of wedlock. But what's happening, girls are not, a lot of girls ain't going out there trying to get this help. They're not trying to get on the birth control pills. Unsafe sex is out there now. You know what you're supposed to do. HIV is out there, AIDS is out there, all syphilis, you name it, gonorrhea, all these things are out there. These things will kill you. These things will take you out just because of a moment of pleasure. You know, and some girls, you know, they figure they can have a baby and trap the guy. It's a lot of that going down, and I blame the states. I blame California, I blame Texas, I blame all these states that I'm aware of, that it seemed like in order to get help you have to have a baby. And it's a shame. There was a young lady, you know, no babies, nothing like that. She couldn't get housing, she couldn't get any assistance, couldn't get any help. The lady flat told us that if you were pregnant now, you had a child, we could help you. I mean, what's the first thing a young girl gonna think? Well, she's 18, 19, trying to go out on her own, need a little help, you know, and it's nothing wrong, I would say, you know, being on the welfare and all that. I feel when you pay your taxes, and I feel every time you go to the store and they slap the taxes on you, and every time you got to do your tax return, if you get in trouble, the state needs to help you. They need to come back and help you. You done put the money in already. If we could add all our taxes we've ever paid, not a lifetime, and the taxes we done paid to the government, if you add all that up, they still owe you. So never be ashamed if you need assistance, but don't, my husband's trying to say, don't be lazy. Don't go looking for it when you can work. Try to go out there and get some type of career going. If you don't know what you want to do, go to the colleges and look at the list of opportunities are there. You know, my daughter said that she wasn't really wanting to take Spanish, but that was all available because she enrolled late. So she ended up getting computers, which was a must and a plus for her. But she ended up getting Spanish, which is very good because today bilingual people they're looking for that can speak bilingual, where you can speak English and Spanish, is very much needed in these lectures and these meetings and stuff like that and seminars. So I feel that what's going on in our society, we have left Christ. Some of us don't have Christ in our life to lead and guide us. And girls out there, if you already had a baby, God still love you. But if you haven't had no child and you're not married, you know, think about, you know, how you look into the public, and you should have some shame. You know, I see girls, you know, sticking out in the choir and you know, and look like they got positions in the church and they're not married. You know, that shouldn't be. You know, but what's okay, let them come to Bible study. And even if they have some insight, but teaching the class itself, and what is the church doing? What is the church doing to help these young ladies? I'm not talking about they can't sing in the choir. That's not what I'm saying. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they can't teach a class. I'm saying that we should encourage our girls to stay single until they find the right man. At least I back up. The right man find them. And then stay without a child. Because what you're teaching that child is that it's okay to have a baby without a husband. And there's a lot of single mothers out there and single fathers. So all we're saying on the Just During Talk Show is that we need more teaching of morals. And we need, with the police department, what my husband's talking about, policemen can shoot to harm, hurt, but not kill. They're trained to kill. I really believe that, because we took a class, I was listening to the class, my husband took the class, where it say you shoot to kill. So, I mean, if I get my permit, I don't want to shoot to kill. And there's another thing, don't never leave a man behind. In other words, if you kill somebody, you shoot somebody, you should be sure they did, because what happens, they come back with their sisters, their brothers, and may get you in the back. You know, so these things are some of the things Jess was talking about. I'm trying to cover some of the things because we're out of time. You know, right now we done ran out of time, and hopefully there's a part 2 on this, and we want,
It will be.
and God is good.